Hi, I'm just on a morning walk with my dogs. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in Adelaide, and I thought I would do a short video for you. Someone was asking me about the meaning of ringing in your ear. So if you've experienced ringing in your ear, usually what happens is when you have a question that you want to know and you stay with that question, there will be a moment when the dialogue inside your head suddenly reveals what you want to know, and it comes and it will sort of announce itself by a ringing in your ear. So suddenly there will be a really loud ringing in either one of your ears, really. And what happens at that time is it's like you're downloading the information that you wanted to know, or the universe, the self, the spirit is actually speaking to you, and it's downloading the information that you want to know. And in that moment when it's ringing, it comes. The information is revealed to you. See? Sometimes it can also be when you have the dialogue in your head, you might have actually said something that reveals the information that you want to know, intuitively. You just suddenly know, and then it rings. The ringing in your ear announces that at that moment, when you just said something to yourself, it was the answer that you were looking for. I'm turning around because Charlie, one of my dogs, is now older and he's usually slow, so got to wait to catch up. So this is the ringing in your ear. A lot of people have reported that to me, the ringing in your ear. One person I remember kept asking me why she always has this ringing in your ear. And it could be that you also have a infection in your ear, and the ring, there's a ringing. But I knew that she was very intuitive. So I said to her, the ringing in your ear is like I just said before. It's when you're downloading the information, whatever you want to know, the information is being given to you in that instant. At that moment when the ring rings in your ear, you receive an information. I'll give you an example what I mean. It's not easy to understand all these things because we don't have much information about it in our society. Our society is rather rational society and rejects many of these things, and if you actually ask someone, or if you talk about it, if you're talking about it with your family or friends who don't understand any of this, you'll be laughed at. So, or they won't probably laugh in your face, but they will kind of smirk behind your back. So the purpose of these videos, and really my work and my writing, is to bring all this information out into the public, so that the people that really want to know, the people that need to know, which is you, can have that info at your fingertips, so that you're not frightened of what happens, and you're not worried that you're going mad. And I've heard lots of people say to me, look, I think I'm going mad. All these things are just happening to me. I don't understand. So this is one of those things, the ringing in your ear. And I'll give you an example. It was just the other day. I was walking around the house, and I have this conversation in my head when I'm writing or when I want to know something. And in that moment, I think I was just in the kitchen just pouring another cup of tea. And in that moment, it suddenly rang in my ear, and I knew that whatever I said just prior to the ringing was the answer. And there it was. A sentence of what I wanted to know. just suddenly revealed itself to me. And I knew. Now, how you can easily forget what happens to you, or you can actually dismiss the information that it's just been downloaded into your consciousness, into your mind. So what I used to do, now I'm aware of it, but what I used to do before, I used to always have a pen and a writing pad with me, and I would write down everything that I would write down the moment of revelation. Before I studied all these things, before I knew what was going on, I used to call these revelations what occurred to me. I remember still living in Sydney, and that was in 1999. And I used to put, on my wall in my room, I would have these things that occurred to me, so I wouldn't forget them. I would write them on a piece of paper, stick them on my wall. Then I started to carry a pen and pad with me, so this always helps when you have something ready to write it down. Or now with the age of the smartphones, you can easily just record onto your smartphone what happens with the moment of revelation, so you don't forget it later, because it's easy to forget. Very, very easy to forget. I'll tell you a little story of what happened to me in 1995. I was up north in Norway, and I met a man. I was up north in Norway in a town called Narvik. I actually go into this story in detail in my book, Where We Dreamed a Single Dream. And I had a dream to travel there. So I traveled there in Narvik. There I am in a hostel, and I met a man, called himself a poet. He was from Holland, named Frank. He used to wear tight leather pants, waist long sheep skin jacket. This was winter, and long hair. And he used to always carry a pack of tarot cards in his pocket of his jacket. Pull out the tarot cards, pull out a card, say something to himself, and put it back into his pocket. So that's how I also got introduced to tarot cards. But the story goes like this, where I met him, and I was very taken by him. And I used to listen to everything he said. I even moved into the same room to be closer to this man, because I thought, he was fantastic. He knew so many things that I was craving to know more. And for a few days after this, I used to walk around town, and I used to hear this song by TLC. What's the title? Don't seek waterfalls, stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to. And I heard this song everywhere, and intuitively I knew that I am listening to someone else's advice instead of my own. And one night I have this dream that this Dutchman, this Frank, this poet, is choking me so hard that I woke up. The emotions woke me up. And this confirmed to me that I am listening to I have taken someone else's advice instead of my own rivers and lakes, my own water, intuitive water. Instead of listening to my intuition, I am listening to this man. And it was on the same day. Come on. Charlie doesn't want to go this way. Come on. It was on the same day. He turned around to me and he says, "Look, I have to leave. I have to find my own place to stay." And he says, "I have a gift for you." And he pulls out a little tape recorder. I don't know if you remember the little tape recorders that you walked around with, and you could record your insights or whatever. Before the smartphones and everything else, we had these little tape recorders. And he gave me that, and he says, "I don't know what you have to do with it, excuse me, but it is important for you to have it." I still have that tape recorder to this day. So you see, when you're paying attention, the universe, the spirit will talk to you, and you will know exactly what needs to be done. But you gotta be honest with yourself as well. So this is what the ringing in your ear, one of the reasons the ringing in your ear happens. It happens because you're getting an information, your own inner source. The spirit is communicating to you and is giving you information of what you need to do. So it's helpful then to have something to write with, or something to remember, or a tape recorder, or your phone. Charlie's again out there in the back. I'm waiting for him. So anyway, that's what I wanted to communicate to you today. Just a short video. I'll make another longer video soon. Someone asked me why I don't make more regular videos. It's because, well, I have done quite a few, and I've posted quite a few to my YouTube channel, but there doesn't seem to be that much interest. You know, most of my work is writing. That's how I seem to probably communicate best. And videos, you know, if there was more